Live again for our Monday show. Let me tweet my YouTube version out. Then we're gonna have a good show today. I'm gonna launch a few shows today. Hopefully I can get at least 5 in today, maybe Monday through Friday. That's one more thing. If you're here, say what's up. While I get everything tweeted out. Live again. I'm going to talk about Biden's immigration crisis going on right now. And maybe have some fun talking about how right I was about Joe Biden once again. Let me get the YouTube version out. We got one person on YouTube, so we already got people coming in. Let me tweet the YouTube version out. Discussing Joe Biden's immigration crisis. Okay, you guys know that ICE is being sued, right? For their failure to disclose their human rights violations. Just one of the many reasons why they are shady. See if we got anyone on Twitch side. If you're here, say what's up. I'll wait till I'll get a little people watching before I start my stories. Also, I wanted to cover the Amazon warehouse strike as well. That's a story I'm very interested in. Rabbit Fufu in the house. Make sure I got my Twitch one up. Let me know how the stream is going as well. Let me make sure I can see my YouTube. What's up, Rabbit Fufu? How you doing? What I talk about? Have you guys seen the pictures of the migrants on the border right now? The facilities what they are going through. That's what we're going to talk about to start off with. I was very excited because I was on Ryan Knight's show. Sienna's in the house. I did a shot Ryan Knight's show on Thursday. I think the episode's out. Very happy with the reception that we received. Had a good conversation with Ryan. We can talk all day. It's one of the things like, all right, we gotta nail down time here because we can go forever on that. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. Hopefully we can launch a few streams this week. I'm gonna have my friend Rome on. I should call him, see if he can jump on his phone. The boy banned again. I love my boy Rome, but someone said Rome is like the Krillin of Twitter. That nigga's like Krillin. That's funny as hell. I don't know why he always get banned and taken down. I feel blessed that I last as long as I have, to be honest. At this point, losing an account with 55,000 followers, that would be a big sting. But I told people I just like railing against the establishment. I like talking shit about capitalism in our ruling class. Yo, what's up, Ozu? C-Dubs in the house. Finally, we getting some homies in here. We just started a few minutes. See, Meganator's finally here early today. What's up, Meganator? I'm glad to see you finally join the stream while we are here early. I'm hosting Jackie's show. Jackie's not here today. I think me and Jackie, we're going to do our show every Tuesday. What's going on as well? Rabbit Fufu is on YouTube. Mari's on YouTube as well. I see she left a comment. Twitter ain't ready for Rome's opinions quite yet. It's funny, people think I'm a stream, but I'm like, if you look at my guests, I'm like almost the most modern person that appear on this show. That's the funniest thing about it. But I mean, I'm on people's hit list. You see that K-Hive influential account had me listed with like Katie Halper, Dora, and everyone, Ryan Knight, who they are. He lives in their head rent free. But I made the list. Very excited about that. Had a great time. Had a good chance to plug my article. It was real. It was great to see. They either have me blocked or they know I'm a name to be feared. I love to see it. Kyle the Hack said she brought hella voodoo dolls that night. I don't know what the thread. I didn't know what the thread even mean. Like, she was just shit posting, but also creepy as hell. That's kind of how K Hive organized their mass harassment programs, making lists like that. Seen a big trend of a lot of liberals and progressives who are really liberals. You know, the left who hates the left. They like to make a list. And Jeremy's in the house. How the streaming audio going so far, guys? We just getting started. We can talk about Joe Biden's immigration crisis. Jeremy's in the house. He let Forgiving You Know I'm live. Cave Hive. Sienna said Cave Hive came after me because I tagged the FBI under that list, calling me racist and shit. They was super mad at Marianne Williamson because Marianne Williamson called her out. And Rocky Flame, what's up, brother? What's up? Marianne was like, cease and desist. Because they had her on the list as well. They had a lot of people on the list. I was like, bro, why do you guys even see these people as threats? Like, it would have been so much cooler if they didn't have Jank and Anna from TYT on that list. But, I mean, we still had some real ones. Katie Hopper. I love Katie. Ryan Knight was on the list. I'm trying to remember. Jamie Dore was on the list as well. Once again, I was on Ryan Knight's show. We can talk all day. I mean, there are a lot of people who they are misguided when they want to question his intent, because we saw him radicalize in real time where he used to be a Elizabeth Warren Democratic Party stand. But there's no doubting the intention of Ryan Knight now. I mean, I was talking to him, and even after the show was over, we was talking for like 40 minutes or so, and he had the same enthusiasm and passion on the show. In the conversation afterwards than he did when the camera was rolling. So the people who don't think Ryan Knight believes what he said, they are out of their mind, because I feel the passion behind what he was saying. And he was another one of the people that was on the list and who KI had listed. I need to see if I can find it, because I don't remember anyone that was on the list. Bro, like, damn, why you got Jank and Anna on there? Why y'all even mad at Jank and Anna? Are you upset that they didn't tell people to vote for Joe Biden hard enough? Like, what's the issue you guys have with her at the end of the day? Him and Jank and Anna. I was hoping I can find it pretty easy. I love now talking about the K-Hive hit list. I'm gonna pull that up so you guys can see. Have you guys seen that? Most people have. It went pretty damn viral. Then I'm like, bro, you only help me out, because I got a lot of people that signed up on my Substack, because I pretty much just put my article under there. I'm like, you got me up there with these people? Like, what? I'm just some guy on Twitter. Why are you upset? Discussing K-Hive putting me on their unhinged hit list. Most of y'all seen that, right? I'm not overreacting. Meganator, thank you for watching. Amped up, bro. Me and Ryan Knight, we're gonna do some more stuff, man. I had to make sure I come prepared, because Ryan Knight, I think he's the biggest platform I've done so far. So I'm like, I gotta make sure I bring the heat. And Ryan Knight's such a good dude. And he really real about this fight against the establishment. He read my article, and I mean, he invited me on before Ryan is like one of the people that actually learning as he go, because once again, he was a Democratic operative a few years ago, and now people want to pretend that he's doing it for the money. And I'm talking to this dude, and he's telling me, like, bro, you don't understand how much money is in this shit if you're just one of the people who cheerlead for a Democratic Party. Excuse me. I mean, this dude has super PACs on his side. Yeah, big Democratic people on his side. He met Warren, had a picture with her. You guys think really good establishment is how you make money? So I'm glad a few people seeing it so far. I really haven't watched the Black yet. I just saw the clip he put on YouTube. Rocky Flame 16 said Biden fucking cages. Like, what the actual fuck? It looked like blue cages. And where's Dick Durbin's outrage? Let's see, where's my friend at? Hopefully, I'm not accidentally airing my messages. Nope. All right, cool. So we all have our K Hive horror stories. They either all have me blocked, like the biggest, most influential accounts have me blocked, but the crazy Hillary Clinton sycophant, she loves going to war with me. I'm like, you guys are mostly boring. Like I try not to engage with them like that much. But that was just nothing but fun publicity. People was like, bro, you on the list? Where's this? Where the tweet at? I want to see who am I missing that was on the list. Jesus, I didn't have it saved or anything because like why would I save it? But Marianne Williamson was one of the people on the list, and she called. She had her the number of likes she had on her response to that was like 10 times more than the tweet itself. I mean, the tweet was pretty shit. Like, who were the people even that were liking that? So this was what I was saying. I'm trying to find a tweet. This is what I was like. K-Hive currently melting down at Marianne Williamson. And it's like this. There's no way that people can convince me that K-Hive is a organic movement, especially after what we learned about Brooklyn Dad and how he got paid. I mean, now there's rumors and speculation about Benjamin Dixon getting paid. I gotta look more into sources, but I've seen people floating around that he was one of the people that got paid as well. So the Democratic Party, they wanted to put a lot of money in social media because they know how influential that would be. So when I see K-Hive and when I see how they operate, especially the anger that coming out of K-Hive, despite the fact that if you look at everything, they won. Like, they got exactly what they wanted. They got Kamala Harris as vice president, and Joe Biden is 1 foot in the grave almost. I mean, we saw him almost fall down Air Force One. I mean, the multiple stumblings, like everything we see out of Joe Biden, there's like clear signs of dementia, and we know how fast the presidency can age people. I mean, he's not even taking press conferences. He's doing that because he can't respond in a fast, intelligent way. I mean, even when he does take questions from the media, I mean, it was already released that those questions are screened. I'm trying to find that hit list from K-Hive. But yeah, I hope you gotta check out that amped up episode with me and Ryan. I'm glad that the people that watched it enjoyed it. It was just us going back and forth, explaining why we hate capitalism and the establishment, because that was kind of the main theme. And I mean, you guys know from my stream, even when I have people on, I can talk too much, but it's super fun when you got someone like Ryan who can like really carry and add a lot of information to the conversation. I'm like, man, I'm keep going, guy. I gotta let him go. But he was like, he got so much information what he's saying, and we were just one after another, and then I was talking to him like 45 minutes afterwards. I mean, he's a legit dude. I don't know no one can convince me that he's not really about that. I don't understand why people are still skeptical of him. It doesn't really make sense to me. So A-Box in here leaving some great comments. Here, Forgiving in the house. I had to hit her up like, where you at? Where you at? But she's in the house. Let me see what. Hopefully that's the hit list. Oh yeah, man, my dumb ass had it right here because that was there was Marianne's response, so we can see the ratio. She's like, Kamala Harris, can you please ask K-Hive to stand back, and stand by? And I remember I told you guys about her because she was a crazy, unhinged Hillary Clinton sycophant, right? And now I finally have, this is the list of the people she has up there. And I'm like, bro, I'm not even mad. You don't know my real name. She's a list of MMA socialists. Ryan Knight, Brown DeJoy Gray. I mean, Jimmy Dore, Katie Hopper, Crystal Ball, Peter Dow, David Schroeder. Those people I named right there are the people I got a lot of respect for. Cenk Uygur and Anna being included just make it a little less cool. But once again, I don't know why they even hate them. Like, why they even... They sheep her people in amazing fashion to the Democratic Party. I did say Hey, forgive me. I did say hi. I'm a little bit behind, but like, what is your what? So I'm like, bro, my response is gonna be pretty simple. You see, even me to plug my article ratioed her, even though she got almost a dangerous amount of life for that blatant threat that she released. Like, what did this threat even mean? It said the fallen progressives may go through some things pretty soon. Okay, CIA, that's crazy. I'm supposed to be scared. Like, bro, y'all don't know my fucking real name. MA Socialist. So that got me a lot of people got eyes because I want people to understand why I was on the list. Because I mean, I'm not delusional. I understand that if you look at pretty much every single person on that list, like there's literally not one person on this list that I got more clout or bigger audience than. So I'm like definitely the outlier on this list here. So I'm like, I guess no everyone will understand why she hate him, but I want people to know this is why she really hate me. My first article I released, the one that got Dr. Cornel West himself to follow me. Embrace MLK, reject Barack Obama, while leftists needs to challenge the scourge of neoliberalism. That was, and I'm talking about how black boomers led our generation off a cliff. I mean, if you've seen this lady, she kind of like Gen X, like, but they are influenced by the propaganda of the black boomers and the black neoliberals as well. So I'll put my Twitch link one more time. We pretty much got all the homies in the house now, so we having a good time. Discussing why I hate black liberals and our Do y'all also check that article out? Did you guys see that? A-Box, I'm gonna get to your comments. I saw you dropping some knowledge in here soon, but I wanted to discuss this lady. But I'm glad this exposed a lot. Her calling me out like this pretty much just gave me a chance to expose a lot of people to my article because I want people to understand this is why they don't like me, because I wanted to call out these frauds that call themselves our black leaders, but they let us off a cliff. I mean, I lay out in great detail in the article why, and I would love to see someone write a rebuke to my article with just as many sources. And that's what I said about my article when I was talking about our fascist police state, where see this person said he just shared my article. This perfect. This person was like, please don't. Nah, bro, y'all fucked up by making Substack. Now ordinary people like me, we finally got a voice now. That's why the mainstream media hate it. Mini Ninja love on the YouTube side. What's up? I wanted to have you on my show as well if you're the Twitter user I believe I am thinking about. Yeah, Forgivency is my personal bodyguard, as she says. Is that what I think that was the tweet that you linked? Let me find the tweet that you put up there. Am I already behind? I can't find it. I think I waited too long. Damn. I need a producer that will save my comments for me. But read the article. Read my Substack, guys. For real. I put a lot of work in that stuff. So I said, like, if you look at my article when I take down Fascist Police State, and there's a link for your tweet. I see you, Forgiving Chi. I see you out here. I say I dare anyone to write a pro-police state, big police budget op-ed the way I did the counter with the amount of facts and detail that I laid out. I guarantee you would never see that. The idea that someone can actually argue in favor of our police state with facts and data, there's no way. Yeah, I'm glad that you're on the stream then, Ninja. I wanted to have her on. Are they on the show here soon? Alright, this is what forgive her reaction. The classic. Like, what the fuck? You can always rely on good old Forgiving Chi. Should we check out your timeline while we here? Oh yeah, sorry. I'm going to talk about Biden's immigration policy. That's another classic thread. She's like, I don't wonder if she's still going. All right, I'm not gonna creep on your whole timeline, but I'm the reason why she like Kelly lady. She had an entire breakdown because I called her out because she one of these K-Hive Kamala Harris supporters who they try to weaponize black women to make Kamala Harris look better and justify their support for Kamala Harris, who was a cop, right? Someone who's a starch imperialist, puppet of Israel, who voted against a 10% military budget decrease, supported a civil asset forfeiture. Like, the worst of the worst. So she weak on white collar crime. She let Steve Mnuchin go for his crime during the Wall Street crash that people were saying that they should prosecute him on. Well, I'm supposed to acknowledge what I miss. I see the chat going crazy with my forgive me, pretty much my co-host in the chat. I'm hosting Jackie's show, by the way. Let me check out what she said. Let me check out because it was I quote tweeted her at first because I'm like, all right, I gotta call this out because we already see this white women who pretend that black people like Kamala Harris. Like, black people did not like her, and I quote tweeted her. I didn't even say anything mean to her. I just quoted the polling data that showed that that Kamala Harris only had 1% black support in December before she dropped out. I saved that because I'm like, this is gonna be very important. So this one, Marianne Williamson, just calling out K-Hive, and then she said, you can just say black people because that's what you mean. Kelly, for one, you are white, so I don't know why you think you can say that. But she was getting dragged by all my good friends. This is the graph. I'm glad this is the graph pretty much I retweeted earlier when I initially quote tweeted her and that got A1's attention on her. So that was a fucking lie. That's a great meme. But this is the graph I was referring to. All right, I need to stop creeping on Forgiving She's timeline. How's the stream going? Stream's still running pretty good. But all my black comrades was in there, had to correct her, but she was still doubling down. She was pretty much arguing with people for like 2 days, all because I had to call her out, and then her white ego couldn't handle it. That was like the best example of caucasity have I ever seen. Thank you for the follow, Guazai. I need to get the why my display not popping up? Because I want that to pop up every single time. Why are you gonna destroy me? What I do? Mini Ninja Love. When are you available? Because I think I was gonna have you on my show last time we talked. So what I do? What I missed in the comments? I haven't even gotten to know my stories yet. Guess we was talking about the crazy K-Hive lady, right? Admiral Homex. What's up? Yeah. Forgive me, she said she can destroy me. Pretty much. But we can both ruin each other's reputation pretty easily. Are we trending cancel Nick again? How you guys starting this when Jackie not even in the chat? A-Ball's left some good chat comments, but I lost them because you guys are going ham today. Someone said words said there are some real sickos in K-Hive. Shit is wild. That's why I don't believe it's organic. There's no way that K-Hive is organic. What else is going on in the news, guys? Oh yeah, this is my tweet I put out earlier where I said, how is Joe Biden not being impeached for that? I guess I'll discuss Syria here soon. Unhinged foreign policy. I also want to show the migrant camps and all that is going on. Well, so I think we're gonna have Jackie. She gonna be on stream maybe tomorrow. I think we're gonna do our show where she actually on here. because I'm hosting her show now, pretty much. But she gonna, I think we're gonna do our show on Tuesday. Me and RJ gonna have our show on Friday. I'm still working out with Rome. I need to have Rome back on here. I mean, the more they try to ban Rome, the stronger he's gonna get. All right, so what is this? Oh yeah, I wanted to name this a deeply serious political show based on what Meg. I think we start I guess we start this series this week. The thing is, in order for me to call it a deeply serious political show, I either must have Forgiven She, Meganator, or Jackie on. I must have either of those three on. But you guys see, I'm 25 minutes in. I still haven't got my story yet. So this is a deeply serious political show that I'm running. I'm the person. This is the person that they putting on the list. By the way, this person that behind on the comments on the stream, who hosts this deeply serious show. All right, Abok dropping some knowledge in the chat here. My my foreign policy history correspondent. I think I will call Abox. I think Abox, you got a Substack as well, don't you? You need to put a Substack in the chat. Because once again, we all about blowing each other's Substacks and media up because we don't like corporate media around here. Let's see. Abox 400 was saying, to mark the 18th anniversary of the beginning of the Iraq War, here are some of the war's darkest moments. Let's talk about the Iraq War. The evils of the... Who supported? Anyone know the famous pictures of the guy who was tortured pretty much by the innocent person that was tortured? But a lot of people don't understand the human suffering and the acts of evil that was committed by the U.S. empire because of the Iraq War. I mean, there's estimates that there's about 2.4 million casualties ever since the launch of the Iraq War. I mean, how can anyone just blindly say that someone who voted and was a staunch supporter of the Iraq War, the lesser two evils, when they have that massive body count on their name? I mean, if you're a Biden voter, you voted for a guy who's responsible for over 2.4 million deaths in Iraq because he was a supporter of the Iraq War even before they had a mandate to go in there after 9/11. So let's go. Anyway, let me go to Abot's comments here. To mark the 18th anniversary of the beginning of the Iraq War, here are some of the war's darkest moments. Up to 50,000 Iraqis, 70 to 90% who was innocent, were detained in the infamous torture camp. See, that's what I was just talking about. I told you guys there were a lot of war crimes that a lot of people don't know about. When they just go on right, like, oh, I guess there were some people accidentally killed. It was just war stuff, but no, it was actually pretty gruesome when you get the real details of how families were slaughtered by soldiers and they were all innocent, and then they would fudge the numbers, and they said pretty much any male who was in their prime, 18 to 30, who was killed, they pretty much just labeled as an enemy occupant. Like, bitch, what is your evidence of that? They would just make shit up. Anyway, back to the comment before I get deleted. Detainees were sexually abused and physically tortured as well. Survivors shared his story. And that's the only reason we got this story, because these stories from a lot of people who survived these camps, who was able to share their story, and a lot of whistleblowers let the A1 know. I see Megan there put a tweet in here. You guys know I like to read your guys' tweets, so put more tweets in the chat and we can discuss them. See, I'm gonna see what Megan there tweeted. I'm gonna finish Abot's comment. Oh yeah, Megan there talking about how she pretty much got the people to deal with the poll. I guess I gotta go with this now, because as Megan there pointed out, as a socialist, I believe in passing the means of production to my the people who watch my show. I think that was a good comment. I was like, damn. See, I'm losing control of my show. We just democratizing it. I'm like, damn, that's a good point. So I guess we're gonna be the deeply serious political show. But we gotta have at least one of these people on if I'm gonna do that, though. All right, see, this This is why I am. This is why this is a deeply serious political show. Cause you guys see how out of topic I can get. Anyway, that was what you guys are talking about in the comments. Nubsoft says K-Hive is paid propaganda. All right, now back to Abot's comment. I see this is where we left off. Bush's shock and awe campaign was kicked off after Iraqi officials said that they will allow U.S. inspectors and would hand over 2 people connected to 9/11 to the United States. However, Bush chose violence over diplomacy. Instead, over 7,000 Iraqi citizens died from their campaign. These are the kind of stories you're not going to hear on corporate news when they talk about this war. The Fallujah killings of April 2003 began when U.S. soldiers fired into the crowd of Iraqi citizens who was peacefully protesting their presence at a school. The soldiers claimed they was receiving fire from the crowd, whereas the civilians said they was shot at first. Human Rights Watch, which inspected the area after the incident, found no physical evidence of shots fired at the building where U.S. forces were based. So A-Box got a lot of knowledge about the atrocities. Maybe I should have you on so we can talk about this kind of stuff, because I know you have a Substack, which I hope you put in a comment here soon. But this is good stuff. The Mambia, I can't say none of these locations. Rape and killings were war crimes involving the gang rape and murder of a 14-year-old Iraqi girl and the murder of their family by United States Army soldiers on March 12, 2006. A 6-year-old was also murdered along with the rest of her family. He goes on to say Iraq only became less stable and less free from the terrorism once the U.S. intervened. And that's what we're saying. Like, these acts of regime change, the acts of U.S. imperialism, they don't even work. So there's literally no reason for us to engage in it other than us feeding into the U.S. war machine. And that's why I brought up when I was talking to let me read this comment before I get deleted. All right, I think I might be too late. But pretty much he's just going over some lot of different. I think I lost it, but he was going through a lot of tragedies that happened in Iraq. All right. I'm already behind on the chat, so we having fun time. We having a good time today. I'm gonna see if I can do a stream every day this week. I was just so hyped after the Ryan stream. I was like, I gotta make sure I come prepared, so I didn't end up doing the stream that night. Copeland22 said Biden was one of the congressional leaders of the war. Rocket Flame 16 said Nancy Pelosi was too. Yep. He said Nancy Pelosi was too chicken to lead the impeachment to Bush. What Barack Obama said about the George Bush transition speaks volumes about who he is and the fact that he always was meant to be a plant for the U.S. war machine. I'm gonna get my daily Obama bashing in. Cause my life goal is to change everyone's mind about Obama. Because he said, I got my tweet link to it. I credit Barack Obama with killing the anti-war movement as we know it. Because, I mean, during the George Bush administration, we seen public sentiment against these forever wars increase into a level where we was willing to elect a black man with a name Barack Hussein Obama because he ran on any of these forever wars. And he did the exact opposite. No, he did that. He actually expanded the wars. Took 2 wars, grew them to 7. Bombed more people than George Bush. And then Trump beat his record, and now we see. I made my prediction. We might see Biden break Trump's record. This is why I predicted that Joe Biden was not going to be the lesser evil, because you're not going to see a massive shift in U.S. foreign policy as we know now. Because I mean, we're not voting these people out. They're the same people that who always been in charge in U.S. foreign policy. I mean, once again, Tony Blinken was an advisor to Joe Biden when he was advocating for the war in Iraq. I mean, these are the kind of thing, these are the kind of people and these kind of ghouls that you're not going to be able to vote out. I mean, if you look at Joe Biden's defense secretary, I mean, the person that already sounding unhinged in his support of ramping up tensions with Russia and ramping up tensions with Iran. I mean, this guy had ties with the defense industry. I mean, this is as corrupt as it gets. So it was easy to predict that this was the path that was going to take. And the thing is, he never even apologized for his support of the Iraq War. He mostly just lied about it. And then everything he was called on in terms of his horrific foreign policy, he just said, I don't apologize for nothing I did. So this is not something he ever advertised to be better at. John Marie said, hey, since we're talking about the Iraq War, I had a great interview morning. Check out this clip. Check out this clip from John Marie's, another policy correspondent of the show. Oh, Jesus. So let's check this interview out. Let's see what this is about. It's not too long. Watch this amazing interview with Progressive Soapbox. I'm not too familiar, but that's not important. Let's see what the content.
No, thank you. I appreciate you coming on.
I want to make sure you guys can hear it.
I'm glad you can come on to talk about this with me, because this is one of those subjects that I've always been astonished by. More so the way that the American media encounters the subject and the political class encountered the subject. 500,000 people on the low end were wiped off the face of the earth. And we don't seem to appreciate the scale and the level of that crime. Please, what is Iraq like today as a result of those actions?
So, I'm glad you're doing this show, and I'm glad to be able to talk about this. I covered that war, and it was not an easy war to cover because the violence was extreme. And I don't think it's just 500,000. I think we have the estimates, the low estimates are over 1 million dead. 50% of Iraq's middle class fled as a consequence of that war.
Wow. So I actually didn't know that, but that's a very important stat. 50% of Iraq's middle class fled as a result of the war. I mean, we can only imagine how absolutely devastating that would be. Once again, war just there's the death count, but there's so many negatives that will impact the society because of a war like Iraq. It's so destabilizing. I mean, people would want to say, "Oh, so you don't want to defeat fascism, even if you want to elect neoliberalism?" And this is why I point out on Ryan Knight's show. I'm like, people who say that, they are whitewashing the crimes of neoliberalism because fascism is bad. But let's look at the crimes of neoliberalism: the destruction of the black community, inhumane immigration policies like we're gonna go over now, the destruction and destabilization of the Middle East. Dropping nuclear bombs, regime change. I mean, how can you just whitewash these things so easily by just invoking fascism out of nowhere? Because I mean, that's a massive human body count you're talking about under the name of neoliberalism that people just want to whitewash for some reason because we got another side that's crazy. They're both evil. Evils in their different ways, but they have both body counts that are so high that I can't ever reconcile being supportive of anyone who pushes the ideology, especially in an unapologetic way like the Democratic Party. So let's finish the rest of this clip. This is great. There's already great stuff from this guy. Like I said, I'm not too familiar, but anyone who cover foreign policy and cover state violence the way this guy has done has my support.
Depleted uranium, particularly in Fallujah and Ramadi, has created generations of children born with terrible problems. The level of
generation of kids born with problems.
The country is extraordinary. The polarization along sectarian lines has only deepened as a consequence of the United States war on
tensions increased.
I want to make a a point about the language we use, if I may, because people talk about the Iraq War, but there really is no Iraq War. There was no Iraq War in 2003. There is a United States attack on Iraq. There is a U.S. war on Iraq.
Yes.
In the same way as there was no Vietnam War. There was no.
So I shouldn't ever say there was a Iraq War then, because that's a great point. What you should really say is that there was the U.S. attack on Iraq, the U.S. invasion of Iraq. It's not a war. It's the evil empire invading another country that they want to steal resources for geopolitical reasons that they lied about. And that's what he said earlier in this clip. I mean, people got to understand the breadth of the crime we were talking about. That boy would never in a million years ever apologize for not voting for Biden or anyone who supported the Iraq War. It's never an apology out of me. Are you kidding me?
War in Vietnam. There was the U.S. imposed war on Vietnam. The United States has these wars. These are U.S. wars on Afghanistan, on Iraq, on Vietnam, on Libya. There's no Libya war. There's no Afghanistan war. I think this is a way in which we remove culpability for these wars. In this particular case,
This dude speaks some facts.
From Nancy Pelosi, there's something quite horrendous here.
So that was a good clip. Jamboree's already know. Jamboree's always brings the heat. Hopefully everything was playing well for you guys. Let me see what comments I missed, because I can't read. I usually can't see the comments when I'm playing full video like that. I'll give this a retweet. That's a pretty good clip. Progressive soapbox. All right, what comments have we missed before I move on? And we can actually dive into the immigration for Biden. I know I said I was going to talk about that, but we brought up a lot of other good topics as well. U.S. imperialism, immigration, the fascist police system that we live under. All these things are connected. And that's why I was sharing with Ryan Knight, and that's why I want to educate his base about is, I mean, you can't be, and this I want anyone on the left to understand. You can't just be anti-imperialism, anti-war, without being anti-police state. You can't be for abolishing ICE without being anti-war. I mean, the triangle, that's just a small triangle of things that connects. But all these are based on complexes that are fueled by money. The military-industrial complex, the prison-industrial complex, the immigration-industrial complex now. I mean, all these things are fueled by capitalism. Once again, capitalism is designed to impose racial hierarchies. And the only way capitalism can function is by having a lower class, mostly one that is of different race of the mainstream, because it make it easier to justify oppressing them. But you need that lower class to exploit, because that's where the profit come from. That's why, despite the fact all the battles we have done and supposedly won on race since the civil rights movement, that the black boomers, they just want to pat themselves on the back for, you still see black income inequality that's worse right now. And remember, this number, and I can't stress this enough because I'm keeping my eye out for future studies, but this number was before COVID, guys. Like, racial income inequality got worse since the start of COVID-19. I want you guys to understand that. So this number I saw was like in 2015. We had income inequality worse than it was in the civil rights era. Because when you look at the small businesses that closed, 40% black small businesses, I mean, these loans was targeted to aid the white middle class, where people of color and their businesses was ignored. A lot of studies and a lot of people that looked into that. So, I mean, that number is only getting worse, guys. It's not like it's getting better. When you see, I'm once saying that number from 2015, income inequality worse than was in the height of the civil rights era. Supporting you on 2 streams. Got Rofkin. I get that one going too. I appreciate the love. Mini Ninja love. My comrade, she out here in Kansas City. They are out here in Kansas City. I don't know the gender. I think we're still gonna have you on the show, right? Forgive if she's still here. So I'm gonna get to the comments. I missed a lot of the comments so far. A-Box with breaking news, as he types. Saudi Arabia and the UAE are bombing Yemen's international airport right now. That's insanity. Marking the third straight day of attacks in the Yemeni capital. This is a war crime, and this is 100% backed by the Joe Biden administration. Yo, where's the source on? Let's find that. That's the story we're doing right now. That's actually insanity. So I want to let people know that I want that story. Maybe I'll put my YouTube link for that one. But I'm gonna see if I can find a story on the new Yemen bombing and Joe Biden's support of the genocide in Yemen. Which is one of the biggest campaign. I mean, it'd be more helpful to list the amount of campaign promises he didn't break, but that's one of the most egregious, right? Everyone was like, "Bro, we gotta vote for him." Well, at least he said he's gonna end the support of the genocide in Yemen that Trump was strongly supportive of. I'm like, I don't buy it. I mean, I don't have to keep sharing that tweet. Well, I said I don't buy it because do you guys think the U.S. support of that war was just Donald Trump's? Donald Trump just changing U.S. policy on the whim? In fact, that started under Barack Obama. So I don't think it was a crazy prediction to say the vice president under Barack Obama wasn't going to change the policy that started under Barack Obama. And he hasn't. And we have a media complex that's so complicit with Joe Biden right now. They're not calling this out. I mean, I'll give credit because I think Cal covered the CNN segment that called it out. But this should be something that should be what we should be talking about constantly, 24/7. So let's see if we can find some sources on this bombing. A-Box got one from Twitter. I don't know what the source is about. I'm just grabbing it from him. See, isn't my little crew of the left amazing? I mean, it's just us just educating each other. We not starting unnecessary bombing. From Sarah, great foreign policy reporter. Breaking: Saudi Arabia and the UAE are bombing Yemen's international airport, marking the third straight day of attacks on the Yemeni capital. This is a war crime. It is backed by Joe Biden and his administration. Very interesting. I want to see I would love to see where I can read more. I guess I look in the comments. My tweet is like super close to that. I didn't see. I made my tweet before I saw hers though. But I'm just talking about. Let's see if we can actually find some more information on this. But that one of the most egregious campaign promises that was broken. A-Box says Sarah is an indie Lebanese geopolitical commentator. Yeah, she's great. All right, Jam Reeves. I think he got a good source for us to look at here. I just want more details. But I posed a question today. Why isn't the conversation of impeach Biden not happening right now? And we got a good comment on Stephen Seamus. Biden is continuing all the central things he castigated Trump for during the campaign. And people are out of their mind. They think people like Joe Biden, these career climbers, was successful in the Democratic Party for decades, are not crafty. And this is what I was trying to explain to people. Like, oh, look at Joe Biden's platform. This is why I got to vote for him. And I'm like, okay, so you actually going to listen to Joe Biden and take what he's saying seriously. All his major campaign promises he has broken thus far. All of them he's broken. Getting back in the Iran deal was one of them. I mean, when we look at foreign policy record is atrocious. He's waging an unhinged George Bush Jr. style foreign policy, which you can say like Barack Obama, which you can say like Donald Trump. But I hope when I say George Bush, that will wake people up. They're the same U.S. foreign policy we've seen throughout multiple administrations, where we prod and attack, where we prod and we attack, and I mean, the response that coming from Russia and Iran is pretty similar. Both of them are saying the same thing. They're like, guys, we don't want conflict. We don't want to escalate with the United States. Are you guys out of your mind? In this era where we gotta fight climate change, like, you guys want to have a global conflict? That's what Putin said. And then the liberals like, oh, see, Putin just backed down. But Joe Biden's so strong. Like, you guys are crazy. Like, you guys are crazy. And I implore anyone, whether I talk about this when people are trying to get people to support war against and action against North Korea. I'm like, what have they done to us? We're in a failed state, and you guys want to create tensions and conflict with Russia instead of taking care of our citizens. Putin is not responsible for the police state that we live under, where black men are publicly executed without trial or jury by law enforcement. Putin is not responsible for the giant corporate bailouts that go out to the rich and the policies that favors the rich, where billionaires increase their wealth by well over $1.5 trillion at this point throughout the course of the pandemic, while the middle class has suffered. Once again, nothing to do with Putin. We just talk about the Iraq War. We talk about all the tragedies that happened in the Iraq War. I mean, these innocent civilians that the United States is killing and torturing, nothing to do with Putin at all, guys. Nothing I'm saying is obviously an endorsement of Putin, obviously. But people need to start looking at the point of view of other countries. Where Iran, like, for the love of God, our policy has been the same under Biden as it was under Trump as it was under Obama. We're not trying to escalate tensions. You gotta just keep fucking with us. So, what other? Let's see. What this is the story. I'm trying to see what comments I missed before I proceed. Oh Jesus. A-Box said this only happened 40 minutes ago. Wow, so we getting breaking news on here. Not many sources since the corporate news won't cover it. Of course not. Many Ninja Love in the house. Let's see what she put. Blue MAGA is a cult. Megan is right. Of course. Let's see what tweet is this. From John Pillager. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure this dude is, but I follow him, so he must be pretty decent. I don't know who he is though. So he quote tweeting a tweet he made last August. The original tweet, he said, another Hiroshima is coming unless we stop it now. This woman was burned in the steps of the bank of Hiroshima by the atomic bomb. Once again, the United States is the only country that ever dropped a nuclear bomb, by the way. Before you guys ever want to fearmonger about any other country, before you guys want to get crazy about North Korea, China. I mean, the same anti-China rhetoric. People were, for good reason, complaining about the rise of anti-Asian violence. But where do you guys think that shit come from? Our corporate media have been having anti-China. I mean, this comes from Democrat media and Republican media. Constantly demonize them because they see them as a threat because they were about to be the number one economy by 2028. That's what this anti-China hysteria is all about. That's fueled by propaganda against these countries that everyone would just believe any negative thing about just because they're Asian countries. Just like people believe anything they hear about African countries because, I mean, of course, those blacks, they are uncivilized. Because that's the underlying theme. You believe anything you hear about North Korea and China because the underlying racism that the liberal class is guilty of, even though they don't know it, they don't even realize it, is the only reason they even believe those things because deep down inside they think like, well, they're uncivilized people. That sounds plausible. That's where it comes from. Now people are surprised that there's a rise in anti-Asian violence, even though people constantly keep calling it the China virus. Constant anti-China propaganda. We've been here on the corporate news. Anyway, let's finish this tweet. Remember this when you don't speak up against a fanatic Pompeo lies about China. This is when Pompeo was in charge when he quote tweeted that originally. And now he said this is March 15th. Look again at the shadow on the stats below. We know there's a climate emergency. Secretly, Biden is building new 100 billion nuclear missile systems. So pretty much calling out the Biden administration for, once again, his insane foreign policy. A lot of people don't want to talk about. So what else I'm missing in the comments? Seamus 248 said Rachel Maddow thinks Russia controls our police state. God knows where you got that from, but Rachel Maddow made a lot of money throughout the Trump administration pushing crazy conspiracies about Russia. Now they got a new one. They got to drum up support for people supporting Biden escalation against Russia. So they already got a new Russiagate, very loosely sourced, pretending that Russia tried again to attack our democracy. I mean, so ridiculous. Insidious said U.S. is going to blame Iran for the problem in Yemen and use it to justify war and no nuclear deal. God knows what's going on in the crazy head of Tony Blinken right now. But I gotta keep saying it, guys. The only thing I have at this point is I told you so. Because I told you guys so. I said that I don't believe Biden when he was saying he's going to get back a nuclear deal. Because last time I checked, when he was on the debates, when he was giving the town halls, when he was promising people that he was going to get back in the Iran deal, there wasn't conditions to that. He said, first thing I'm going to do is get back to the Iran deal. He didn't say, are we going to continue to put sanctions on Iran, and unless Iran completely licks our boot and completely be subservient to everything we say and become compliant despite us having massive sanctions on them, then we get back in the Iran deal. Now, if they agree to the same terms that Donald Trump was essentially pushing, because that was what Iran foreign ministry said. They said when you look at the Biden administration and the Trump administration, there's no difference between how they are governing when it comes to how they are negotiating the Iran deal. Because what Trump was asking for is the same thing that Biden is asking for. Complete compliance, even though we got them sanctioned to death. I mean, we're in the middle of a massive pandemic where Iran was hit hard because of these sanctions. So Iran, their stance is very simple. Like, bro, we would love to be compliant, but lift these fucking sanctions first. Right? Okay. So let's talk about... we're about an hour in. We can just now get into Biden's immigration crisis. You guys, like I said, you guys know ICE is getting sued, right? And this is the question I want to pose to you guys. Why does ICE why do they have to be sued? Why are you guys pondering that? I'll let people know that. This is what I want to talk about. Discussing the human rights violation of ICE and how they are being sued by human rights. When I was on to Ryan Knight, I put a lot of things back to defund the police and our fascist police system. And I was telling them I'm doing this on purpose because the fight to end our fascist police system, the fight to end inhumane U.S. immigration policy, the endless wars and atrocities of the endless wars that we talk about now, that's tied in the fight against capitalism. I mean, it's based on the same ideology. Colonialism. I mean, this is the same thing. So I'm not surprised to see Joe Biden, quote unquote, fail to hold ICE accountable. This is a story now. I got to pull it up here. Crew sues ICE for records on immigrants tortured for accepting deportations. So, under Trump administration, I mean, these stories are released. This is why I think you need to abolish ICE, because you got people that run ICE that are completely unaccountable. They constantly do investigations into themselves where they find no harm doing. I mean, ICE was shown, in order to secure documents for deportations for the signature, there have been reports of them torturing people. And this is my question regarding this issue. Why do they even have to sue in order to get this? Because Joe Biden, he leads ICE. Like, he can just get them. He at a snap of a finger, he can just get them to turn these documents over. When I look at Joe Biden, how he handling immigration, when I see how he handling the immigration crisis going on right now, where he got the same horrible detentions of children in the migrant centers. I don't know if you guys saw that, but let me pull this up for you guys to see. But this is what's going on today. I mean, the right wing is, for good reason, pouncing on this. And this is my commentary on it when I quote tweet. I'm like, this right here is why progressives need to stop apologizing for Biden and start treating him like the enemy he is. Because when I was telling people that Joe Biden, just like Donald Trump, immigration, one of the things I pointed to. I mean, when it came to law enforcement, he was running to Trump on the right on that issue. I mean, he created this immigration policy to start out with. He's been complicit with all this. I mean, he was the vice president of the deporter-in-chief. But he was supposed to have an amazing immigration policy. Meanwhile, you had Joe Biden, who blatantly, I still think he lied about ending deportations. Once again, liberals pretend that he just can't get it under control. Bullshit. I don't buy that. He just don't want to get it under control. I guess I can find that one as well. But ICE failures to be transparent about these human rights violations, I mean, that's nothing new. The same people that lobbying the lawsuit against ICE right now, they already won a lawsuit against them before, because ICE were destroying records. Whenever they get caught on their abuse, they were just destroying damn records. So how do you supposed to reform this? There it is. Just stop ICE from destroying records of abuse. March 12th, 2021. ICE cannot destroy records of sexual abuse and assault, death reviews, detainee segregation files, and other records is planned to dispose of. A federal judge ordered today in a case brought by citizens for responsibility and ethics. They're the same people who are suing them now in order for them to get more documents, because they want to expose ICE. They said they want to show people what ICE is really capable of, so that can actually increase awareness for things like abolishing ICE. Because this is not an organization that you can have just simple reforms on and fix. Because even if you pass reforms and put rules on them, then what stopped them from just destroying and forging documents like they've been caught doing in the past? So now we have reached a point where we have an agency that they outgrew their mandate, and now they are actually acting against the original mandate in which it was created for. They did the same thing out of the CIA and FBI. Because when you look at the CIA and FBI, their original mandate was to serve and protect the American people. But now, God forbid you get any accountability on CIA, FBI. We all know what happened to public figures when they publicly asked for the CIA to be abolished. I mean, that's the definition of a rogue agency, where the thought of politicians speaking out against them is fucking suicide. Political suicide, that is. So, this shows how ICE, at the end of the day, is unaccountable. Because, once again, the same group that sued them already proved that they destroyed documents. And now they're suing them because they want more transparency during when they was accused of torturing the immigrants. So the liberal class will pretend that Joe Biden can't do anything to control ICE. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I don't buy that. You can have Joe Biden that can shut it down at a stroke of a pen if you wanted to. And now with this new ICE story, we're seeing the right wing jumping on Joe Biden. We're seeing progressive groups are more willing to call this out. I'm very happy to squash anything. But now, like human rights groups, they can't maintain credibility without calling this out at least a little bit. ACLU. Well, what did Meg say? Someone saying, "Listen to Meg." What I miss? Meganator, what happening? So Meganator should say, "I'm back. Your phone died. Get your life together, Meg." Sorry, I was a random Raven, so I missed. Nick, you need to update your bio to say glorified correspondent of the deeply serious political show. I need to edit. I need to once again. I think my next stream tomorrow. I think that would be the first episode of the deeply serious political show. But Meg, you're supposed to be the host of that show, though. You was on the show before. We can get you back on. Anyway, ACLU said there are warning signs that the Biden administration human rights stances could be just more of the same. Once again, these people had to start calling out Biden because Biden we've seen the same human suffering happen under Biden that happened under Trump. We need concrete actions to back up the rhetoric coming from the White House. I like this tweet here from the Green Party of Santa Clara County. Great account there. Human rights continue to be violated by the Biden administration. They show photos from the Texas border temp cages, the same facility that Biden denied legal defense access to. These conditions are bad as any previously documented. So the Biden team blocked legal team from inspecting these sites, and now starting to see pictures coming out of them. And surprise, surprise, more of the same, just like ACLU says. And once again, people get shocked when I tweet out that Biden is governing just like Trump. And now it's scary because we have this migrant and we have this horrible detention at the border. But despite this, we have media complicity on the issue where they was more willing to use bold language, call Trump a fascist, call it what it is. But you're not seeing that under Biden. You won't see that under Biden. Yeah, we need to trademark that name, Jamreese. We'll get there eventually. So, I mean, once again, this is one of the things when I say I think Joe Biden should be impeached, this is one of the things that I'm talking about. I mean, being complicit with the human rights violations is horrific foreign policy. Once again, I'm very confused because AOC was willing to call out Donald Trump when he bombed Syria, but why not call out Joe Biden for doing the same thing? So it's not like she didn't care about the issue before. I just don't understand why they had to run defense for them. I mean, once again, I am happy Ilhan said something about the migrant detention centers. This is her tweet. She responded to Dan Crenshaw, who was getting dragged because apparently he didn't do well in a recent interview. Dan Crenshaw said, so Biden never signaled to legal immigrants that he wouldn't deport them. For someone who worked at Vox, you should really read Vox. So Ilhan pretty much responded to him, said, I wish this wasn't true, but Biden is definitely deporting people and needs to stop. And this is despite the fact that Joe Biden said he was all deportations, and now they're claiming that just because they're dealing with rogue agencies. But once again, I think Biden had more power than a lot of people are giving us credit for. Rocky Flynn said, "Don't forget us when you're famous." I'm far from that. I got some people that can't handle my opinions on Twitter. That's pretty much what that is. Yeah, I'm just a correspondent. I'm just a correspondent of the show. So once again, I give them props when they want to speak out as Democrats. I don't know why they act like it's such a hard thing to do. To speak out as a Democrat party. This is why my response is very simple. So I think he need to be impeached, straight up. What's trending right now? Ella dealing with men. I like her though. She's a good account. Good energy. But when I covering, once again, that's always been a focus of my show. I want to cover state violence, human rights violations. But when you see the media complicity, this is what this account bring up on Twitter. The media complicity in downplaying this is more terrifying than anything Trump has done. Because once again, you're seeing someone who governing exactly the same as Trump, but without critical media analysis of what he's doing. In fact, they're not analyzing what he's doing. They're apologizing for him, and they're making people believe that once again his recovery plan was the greatest thing ever, even though Trump gave more people money, and he actually ended up cutting unemployment benefits. And a lot of these benefits are actually temporary. I mean, do you see Washington Post and the media establishment come out with headlines like Trump is sprinkling the working class with money, he's slashing poverty when he come out with his relief program? Once again, not apology to Trump, but just once again, you see the difference in how the media will cover them. We got Jay-Z in the house. Another good comment. Let's see what did he share that we can add on here. Oh yeah, this is what people call out. I saw this earlier today. I didn't get a chance to comment on it. The big difference between the United States and China at the end of the day is that China can't face criticism without gelling its critics or silencing them, and in some case, even killing them. That's what this propaganda said. Like, she worked at... that's Andrea Mitchell. I was like, MSNBC? Like, who's that? Andrea Mitchell. The MSNBC legend herself. Propaganda master. Once again, U.S. is the most propagandized country in the world, pretty much. Because here she's pushing a lie. Well, once again, I'm not apologizing for China, but once again, this is what people who believe in U.S. exceptionalism, this is what they do. They pretend that the United States have the moral high ground over all these countries. That's what they pretend. But we are no better than anyone else. That's why she's getting racial to death. My good friend Comrade Misty points out, someone should talk to Jake about Julian Assange, because that was Jake Sullivan. He was the one that brought this up. Like, once again, people want to pretend that China, Russia, North Korea, Venezuela, any of these countries that we have geopolitical reasons to smear, supposed to be any worse than the United States? You're out of your fucking mind. We're currently prosecuting Julian Assange for exposing U.S. war crimes. Dude, she getting racial. Let's see what some of the responses said. Misty, she's all about Julian Assange, so I'm glad that she called her out here. This is pretty much simple. This is from the New York Times. Julian Assange is suffering psychological torture, UN expert says. So if you're one of the journalists who pretend that media was under attack under Trump, but you're still supportive of Joe Biden attacking the same media, the same journalists, and being a threat to free speech, you're just a hack, and that's what people are doing here. Because Andrea Mitchell is not a Julian Assange supporter, I guarantee it. So, how many people will just like this? Like, we see 210 people did, even though she's getting racial. This is why America is the most propagandized country. Because how many people will just watch Andrea Mitchell, listen to Jake Sullivan, and just hear this and be like, oh yeah, hell yeah, the United States will never do something like this. This is how people are conditioned by corporate media. Free Assange, Mini Ninja Love has said. When can we get you on the show? Because I know we talked about that before. This is the part where I peer pressure my audience to join me. I think we're going to wrap up here pretty soon. Hour and a half. But I'm going to be on tomorrow as well. You guys going to join me tomorrow, right? Let's do that. I need to join Rofkin. I need to talk to Rome. Rome trying to help me get verified on Twitter. Long overdue. I got fucking articles released, guys. Video podcast. I'm a co-creator of a new group, for Hampton Leftists, co-founder of 10 Demands, a police abolition group, board member in National Ranked Choice Voting. Fucking verify me, you fucks, you classes, mother. Like, pretty much just, I guess I don't got enough money to be verified. But Rome say you got connection, so we see. I'm trying to get on Instagram, but I've been banned from Instagram for some reason. Like a glitch. Like I've never been able to sign on Instagram because I've been like IP banned for some reason. Even though I never had an Instagram account. It's fucking bullshit, but I didn't want to never take the time to actually deal with it. Yeah, JC to be here tomorrow. I hope the rest of you guys will be here. Once again, I think I got about 15 minutes. We ain't jumping off immediately right now. I think this is like the end of the show where we kind of just shoot the shit for the last 15 minutes. Like I said, I usually want to keep these daily streams about 90 minutes so I don't burn myself out. Instead of doing a 3-hour stream and y'all see me in like 3 days. I think you guys appreciate me just doing more often. I think I did 4 days last week. We do 5 days of streaming this week. We already got set goals. I still want to see people dragging her. It's a hilarious ratio. So you guys just down shoot the shit for me for like the next 15 minutes or so? We can do that. Oh jeez, I let people know I'm taking questions to close the show. I guess I do the YouTube one. You guys got anything you want to cover before we wrap her up? Oh, guys, I'm working on something. Oh, we still got some decent people watching on YouTube, even though I haven't tweeted out for a while. I like my YouTube community too. I just say, let's take some questions. I guess we can see. Let's look some more into the Biden immigration crisis, right? Rocky Flame got math exam tomorrow. Wish him luck. I am not envious of you. I always was really good at math, but it was really annoying when I went to school for programming and they had me taking calculus fucking 3. Like we won't need this. Like it was so like, bro, all this time I'm spending on calculus 3 right now it would be great if I spend that time learning to be a better programmer. Stupid ass heist of education system. Like that doesn't make no fucking sense. Anyone who programmed, you guys know what I'm talking about? But I think everyone's still here, right? Hopefully Givenchy isn't here. She's gonna laugh at me. But what's your look on that? I was pretty good at math, but there was a point where I was like, alright, this is getting stupid. No, I'm back. No. 1 second. Pretty sure I'm back, right? We was about to wrap up anyway. I should be still on. I think that was showing. Let you guys know if my stream is still activated. It's still running for you guys. Oh gee. Oh well. We were near wrapping up anyway. But let me know if you guys can still see it. My stream. It's showing my stream is running. Paywall. What paywall? Well. I think YouTube is the YouTube version still working. Rabbit said, "Where are we gonna set up our commune?" Uruguay seemed nice. Peru is a great country too, right? I heard Peru was really underrated. If we're gonna do it in America, we gotta do it in Nevada. Ever since they had a socialist takeover in Nevada. Wait, so can you guys not see my stream? You guys said ads? What happened? Maybe I should wait to make sure the city is still working. Okay. This is actually kind of annoying. So, alright, Copeland says it's working now. I know there are delays, so I'm not sure what you guys see now. Okay. But if we're going to have a commune, we got to have it in Nevada now, right? Because we have socialist takeover in Nevada. I mean, if you look at Nevada, Bernie won that state by a landslide. So it's like, we're going to do anywhere in America. It seems like we got to move to the desert. That seemed like our best location. But we need to find one of the underrated South American countries. Paraguay was one of them. Peru, I think, is pretty underrated. Best one I heard. Portugal, Spain, France. Those like 3 countries if I had a chance, I would move to in a millisecond. Megan there said, "My simps are demanding I'll be on the show tomorrow." I've been begging you to come on the show for how long? So we're gonna do tomorrow, 3 p.m. my time, 3 p.m. Central. I think me and Jackie talk. I think me and Jackie are gonna do Tuesdays. Jackie show featuring Nick, co-hosted by Magnator. So we doing that? We doing it? Kenny Fox from Vegas. I'm jealous of anyone from Nevada who managed to pull off what they did. We gotta do it in 49 other states. Can we do it before climate change take over? Yikes. Copeland, I demand my queen Megan Ayers on the show. Megan Ayers is a queen, I ain't gonna lie. I had COVID, I couldn't talk without coughing. I'm glad he's feeling better now, right? Lived there for 3 years. Climate change will make it impossible to live there by 2029. Fuck. Massive migration is going to be such a big problem in like 10, 15 years. I tell people, even if Bernie Sanders won, it would have been an uphill battle to fight climate change. You guys understand that, right? Now we got a neoliberal administration that approving offshore drilling permits, who is funding a giant military that is the biggest polluter in human history. Well, we were supposed to just fall into a Paris Climate Accord, which is pretty much a milquetoast policy that's not even going to even change anything. Okay, what else? Let's see what else is in news for the end here, because I think cover stream a little bit, but I still got some homies in here watching. Mini Ninja Love posted Richard Medhurst. Any content from Richard Medhurst is appreciated here. So let's see what we had to post. Oh Jesus! So let's see what Richard had to say. Funny how fact checking emerged from the Russiagate era, but not from the Iraq War era. Oh, I lost my screen. Oh, we got another follow. Beard Flex. I think I'm at 1,400 follows now on Twitch almost, which is kind of dope, right? We need to get to 2,000, but I just need to stream more. That's the biggest thing. So anyway, let's see what Rich had to say. Funny how fact checking emerged from Russiagate era, but not from the Iraq War, after virtually every major news outlet on both sides of the Atlantic lied 24/7 and helped destroy the lives of millions. Being a propagandist for regime change bear no shame or consequences. It's funny how everyone who was wrong about the Iraq War, they still got careers. There's no consequences for being wrong on issues if you're pushing lies on behalf of the establishment. All sins are forgiven. Like the best example of the sins Joanne Reed and her horrific comments on homophobia and Islamophobia comments. Like, a lot of these things, they can do whatever they want as long as you're pushing the narrative of the corporate news media. It's all good. A-Box. with a YouTube link here. Let's see what that is. I'm trying to get to the last few links here before we wrap up. Yeah, I think once you get to town, I think I'm about an hour and a half. Let's see what this video is about. But that's a good tweet by Medhurst. You guys see me on Ryan I Show. You see me on these shows. But maybe I'll get to talk about foreign policy with Medhurst one day. You never know. So this is the one of the victims of the Iraq War. You see, let me turn to theater mode. I think that'd be better for you guys. All right, let's see what we have to say. But where are we with Meganator? So you're coming on tomorrow, right? That's what we doing. Meganator and Jackie. Meganator, you better hit Jackie up. You guys are besties. Okay, let's check this video out. There's the man under the hood. You guys seen the famous pictures of that guy who was being tortured? I guess this is the guy. I think I seen this video a long time ago. But this is kind of where he's talking about the abuse he suffered from the U.S. war machine. Thank you for watching, Kobalin. You were there pretty early, so thank you for watching. We wrap it up on this video. Worst days of his life is a pretty goddamn big understatement, isn't it? All things considered, what you just say you went through? Jesus. Yeah, how can you see this story and then just completely and still sell yourself on the idea that buying the lesser to evil? Anyone who supported this war is. I don't really like watching this, but I guess we do it as a team. He can't even have a bathtub because he still remembers being waterboarded. Yep, Gitmo still open. So, this is the real reality of U.S. imperialism, and this is why I speak out against it as aggressively as I do. But appreciate you guys hanging in there with me. That's the Monday show today. I'll be back tomorrow. Apparently I will be hosting, I'm a glorified correspondent for the Jackie and Megan Air show, which we'll be doing tomorrow. I'm gonna have my friends from 10 Demands here very soon. We talk about the next demand, and we talk about police abolition. I'm gonna have my boy Rome, hopefully maybe Jay Befont, another friend and member of the Fred Hampton Leftists. He'll be on later this week. Maybe I can get Mac and Good Guy Politics back on. You guys enjoyed the episode, right? But anyway, just the progressive martial artists. You just see my friends later on the show, later on this week. But we rocked the solo a little bit today. But expect maybe 4 or 5 streams this week. I'm going to be working on my new article. Once again, I love the fact that I actually got the articles I can put out there so people see my long-term policy view. But my next one will be on the 2-party duopoly and ranked choice voting. So I guess I gotta work on that. The deeply serious political show, as Meg points out, will be on tomorrow. I'm gonna title it. I'm gonna make sure I don't forget. The deeply serious political show, episode 1, new series. Yep, love JB Font and Rome. I messaged JB and like, we gotta get you back on the show. But anyway, make sure you follow on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube. This is the Progressive Martial Artist. We sign out.